Hello everyone, welcome to my Emmerdale channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The air in Emmerdale was thick with tension as the news of Joe Tate's sudden move rippled through the village. What was meant to be a quiet morning at home farm had erupted into chaos, leaving everyone, especially Moira, reeling. The normally composed matriarch found herself pacing in her kitchen, phone clutched tightly, her mind racing with every possible scenario. Joe's abrupt decision to relocate his business operations to London had blindsided Moira. No warning, no discussion, just a terse message on her phone. "I'm leaving. Take care of the farm." The words, though short, carried the weight of a lifetime of trust unraveling in an instant. Moira stared out the window, her eyes tracing the familiar fields that had been her sanctuary for years. She had worked tirelessly to keep home farm thriving, often sacrificing her own happiness to ensure the estate's legacy. And now, with Joe gone, the ground beneath her feet felt uncertain, her future intertwined with decisions made miles away. She wasn't alone in her shock. The villagers had already begun buzzing with speculation. Kane, ever loyal to the family, stormed into the kitchen moments later, frustration etched into every line of his face. "Moira, this is madness. He can't just vanish and leave everything up in the air," Kane exclaimed, running a hand through his hair. "What about the farm? What about the workers?" Moira shook her head, her own fear mirrored in his eyes. "I don't know, Kane. He didn't leave instructions. He just left. And now everything's uncertain." The tension wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. Moira had hoped that Joe's return to the village was more than just a business venture, that they could rebuild some semblance of family unity. But this move shattered that hope, leaving her emotionally unmoored. As the day wore on, Moira tried to focus on the farm, but every task seemed heavier than the last. Her hands trembled as she inspected the barns, and her thoughts drifted repeatedly to Joe. Why would he leave without a word? Was it anger? Fear? Or had he finally decided to cut ties with the life he had once known? By evening, the first storm clouds of both weather and emotion gathered over Emmerdale. Moira found herself standing in the middle of the fields, rain beginning to drizzle, the wind tugging at her hair as if echoing her turmoil. She whispered to herself, a mix of determination and despair in her voice. "I can't let this farm fall apart. Joe may have left, but I won't let him decide my future for me." Her resolve, however, didn't erase the gnawing uncertainty. Neighbors and friends arrived, offering support, but the truth remained. Moira's fate hung by a thread, dependent on Joe's next move. Would he return? Would he sell the farm? Or was this the final goodbye, leaving Moira to forge her path alone? As the night deepened, Moira stood by the farmhouse window, gazing at the distant horizon where Joe's dreams had taken him. A storm raged outside, mirroring the storm inside. And though fear gripped her heart, a spark of determination flickered, hinting that Moira's story was far from over. In Emmerdale, nothing stays calm for long, and with Joe Tate's shocking departure, the village had been reminded once again, when the powerful leave, the ones left behind must decide whether to crumble or rise.